Hello, welcome to the Everyday Players podcast, game week 32, with your host, and smart host, may I add, Matthew Chan. The fresh with his new trim, Ryan Chan.
Good evening, everyone. Looking sharp, yeah.
And our special guest today, top of the league, Luke Fleming.
Hello, boys. Happy to be here. Finally called up.
You've been waiting a while, have you? You didn't mention Flem's fresh cut as well.
I know, yeah. Ignore me there, like.
Got to cut this for
I know. I think he did, didn't he? Just right before. Did you tell the hairdresser as well?
So I couldn't come on last week. I was waiting to get my haircut.
Got to look fresh, eh?
Yeah, that's fine. How are you doing anyway, lads?
Yeah, not bad, yeah. I suppose I won 1, lost 1 this week, didn't I? Lost to you.
Yeah, of course.
That heroics of Stuart Dallas. But
Beautiful.
So it wasn't a bad week overall. I think I moved up. I think I went at like 250k, and I think I'm at now. So yeah, so.
Yeah, new Flem wasn't too.
To be honest, I think it's actually been the worst week I've had throughout the season. But I've picked up some form last few weeks since I've played my wild card, so it's probably due a loss, to be fair. But Ben Murray beat me by about 4 points, I think. Yeah, like Chan said there, I had Dallas on my bench. And then Jota was my captain. Seen as well, like that he probably should have had the assist for Trent's goal. He got that final touch, but he didn't get given it.
I've seen that.
So bit of a shocker, to be honest.
Did he actually touch it? Because I said it to Ryan, more in hope than anything. But
well, I've seen Jota put it. He put it on his Instagram, didn't he? You can clearly see he got the touch. I don't know how much they've looked into it, and like I've seen a few FPL Twitter accounts like tweeting Fantasy League, like asking them to look into it, but hasn't been given. So that to be fair, Ben Murray had Jota captain as well, so he wouldn't have changed it that much, but had a bit of a shocker.
I mean, originally I thought it came off the Villa defender, but then when he put that on,
same.
It looked like it definitely came off him, and I don't know, stuff like that. You sort of think, how can they miss that? You know what I mean? With all the technology they've got these days.
There's been a few overturned as well. There's been a few like assists this season that they've given and they've overturned it. Yeah. I think Fernandez was one off a corner against West Ham, and then but no, that could have just summed up the week really. Probably the worst week I've had so far, but it was probably a due a loss.
Yeah, still
hopefully bounce back. Hopefully bounce back this week.
Yeah, so you were in that camp of dropping Dallas then. I mean, with myself, I played him this week, so it was either you either risked it or played it, or were you quite petty of the people that did play him? Because to be honest, I played him because I was playing my double Chelsea defence, and I only had Foul and Target, and I didn't fancy any of them to keep a clean sheet. So I just thought, I'll tell you what, I'm just going to play my most attacking defender. And it worked an absolute treat. 2 goals from him.
Yeah. Can't believe it. It just doesn't happen. Man City away, they don't really concede any goals, and for him to get 2. I used my third sub, so he wasn't even, I had Calvert-Lewin who didn't play. Creswell came off, injured. He's been shocking since I've had him. Dallas was my third player on my bench, so I had actually that Veltman came on for Brighton who got a clean sheet, and then I had Bamford who got an assist as well who didn't end up coming on. So if I played him or put him first on my bench, I'd have won.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people who did bench him, and then if you're unfortunate like you, Flem, where people actually had him like third sub, but I hate people when they like the haul and then they get a bit lucky that they'll come on then as the second sub. It does my head in. If you don't select him, you haven't selected him. If you didn't have faith in him to start with, so you shouldn't get the points. I'm just really.
It was a lot of people like with Calvert-Lewin, with him not playing. A lot of people then had Lingard coming off the bench for 14 or Dallas for 17.
I know.
And with yours, Ryan, go on.
That nearly lost me the game. I mean, I've been out all day boozing on what day was it? Monday. Yeah, back to Mark's house, and I was like, the game's already won here. Then I was looking at like Calvert-Lewin started, and I was thinking, oh my god. I was showing some of the lads. I was like, here lads, my calculations right here because I think I've
She's running around wild, I think, and that
like
struggling to do this podcast.
But yeah, we've been out boozing for like 8 hours, and then I was like trying to calculate all my maths after being like, I was all pissed and I was showing the lads. I was like, right, you look at this. I think I've won by 1 point, but I need you to calculate. I think, right, he comes on, and I was like, it had just summed my season up, like Lingard coming on for Con and Calvert-Lewin not playing. Like, he never doesn't play.
Misses a game, yeah.
You don't want to be doing maths when you're on a big booze day out there.
No, it was a rough one, but still won, so I can't complain.
Yeah, no, Ryan, you went for like 2 transfers exactly the same as myself, didn't you? Lingard, him again, Iheanacho.
Yeah.
Both done very well. Lingard, can it keep continuing, do you think?
No, I don't think he can keep up exactly how he's doing now. I think like to maintain this for for a long time, you just think it's just hard. The standards he's set, but I mean, he's just been
even until the rest of the season. Then
I don't know. Yeah, possibly. I expect
him
what to drop off a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah, I think he's very much got England in the back of his head, hasn't he? I think it's proper spurring him on. I think he's got some decent fixtures as well. He got Newcastle next week, got Burnley coming up, so he can't really continue with the pace he's at the moment. But I do expect him still to be getting some goals until the end of the season, like.
Yeah, because one of my friends, Ainsley, he's captained him in the last 3 weeks. So he's got him like double 12, double 12, double 13. I think it was 74 points in 3 weeks. And that's a lot, that really. Close to 25 points a week there.
Yeah, big differential as well, isn't he? Like,
I
think he's going up and up in price now. A lot of people are getting him in. I think he's the second most transferred in this week after Lingard. So I mean, he's what 6 million now, I think he is. So he still is only cheap. So he's doing so well that reason why a lot of people are just getting him in.
We on about Iheanacho here, or
Iheanacho, yeah.
Iheanacho, yeah. Because obviously he scored. Well, I was genuinely just going to get him in for this week to start with, but I jumped the gun because he plays West Brom this week. I thought, good fixtures. We've got 4 good fixtures in a row.
Yeah.
But yeah, I jumped the gun with it, and I'm glad I did actually against West Ham. And he's just one of them where I feel like a lot of my team are coming to form now. Like before, I had a lot of dead wood, but I've got Lingard, Jota, Iheanacho. Obviously, Kane's still in good form, even though he didn't really do anything.
Yeah. It just came at the right time for you, wasn't it? I mean, the fact that you were sort of dropping down that table and the helmet just like picked up a little bit, got going again now.
Yeah, honestly, I was struggling. I'd been top like nearly all year, and then I was like on the periphery. Here it is here anyway. So there you go, Luke Flem top, 57 points. Do you think Flem? Do you think you're in? 6 point gap, 4 games left, or 1 more win? Do you think?
I think I still need at least 1 more win. Playing Merv this week, and I think there's been a bit. I think our league's getting a bit corrupt now because I'm sure the lads are probably telling him to play his free hit or whatnot. Probably Toby, I think. I think Toby's telling him play his free hit. He's probably picking his team for him. So I think I do need a couple more. I think 1 or 2 more wins, and then hopefully in the top 8.
Yeah,
I think if you get 1 more win, I think you've made it. I think there's like that many teams that people are going to take points off each other. I think like 1 more win, and I think you're just about there. 1 win in 4 left, is there? So that'll take you to 60. Then what's that? 51. Yeah, I think possibly 1 more win, but we'll see.
I mean, even like with some more fixtures anyway. I've got Reese, I've got Kieran, I've got Tony, and I've got Toby. So there's all 4 people there in and around them positions. We can't all win basically at the end of the day. So very strong position.
Reese is my bogey team. Played him twice this season. I think he's beat me by 1 point one game, and then might have been 3 points the other game. Just can't.
Well,
seems to have my
that's
number.
what Reese has done this season, hasn't he? I mean, look at him. He's in 6th place there. He's getting the job done. I just wish I knew how to do that. He's getting the job done. He's been quite efficient. Not the best point scorer, but he's doing well.
Can only beat who you play, can't you?
Yeah, exactly. Only beat what's in front of you.
That's it. And I tell you, Ryan, I think I've got your number this year.
I know.
Played you 3 times.
Yeah.
3 wins.
I know. Yeah, I know. We sort of discussed it at the start of the season, didn't we? Or who wins more between me and you? We're sort of a bit unsure, possibly 50-50, but yeah, I mean, you've got the better of me this season. I'm quite glad that I've only played you once in the helmets this year, and I don't have to play you again.
Yeah, exactly. Well, tell you what, we'll go through the teams a little bit here then. So Flem, as you're our special guest, we'll let you go first. 43
Appreciate
points.
Yeah, put Martinez in. I do have Forster on the bench as well, but I just can't bank on Southampton keeping a clean sheet. So I know Martinez gets some saves. So I'm pretty happy with him, to be honest, to the end of the season, even against the tough teams. Brought Aspilicueta in a couple of weeks ago and expecting Chelsea to keep, tons of clean sheets, and they haven't kept one since I brought him in. I don't know what's happened. Similar Creswell's probably been the worst sign I've made. I think he's had 2 points in his last four games, so he's come off with an injury. Probably going to be looking at getting rid of him this week, I think. Stones, I've had him in for a while. I remember saying to you, Chan, back in December before a lot of people had him in. I fancied Stones, and he's been like a revelation this season. So I'm happy keeping him. I think he only cost me about 4.8 at the time.
Do you think he might get rotated though? Are you fearing that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, but because I've got a decent-ish bench, I'm not too scared of if he does get rotated. Because if he's a centre back, they don't normally come on as a sub. Yeah. So I'm happy to keep him in. I'm not sure about other City assets at the moment, but I'm happy to keep Stones in. He picked up 1 point against Leeds. I think with Pep rotating the centre backs, they sort of lose the rhythm of it and start to concede a few goals when Diaz isn't playing. I've noticed. So Veltman, brought him in on because he had a game week the other week when there was only about 8 teams playing. He's done all right, to be fair, since I brought him in. Picked up an assist as well. So he came on for Calvert-Lewin. Can't believe he didn't play. Absolutely, I was fuming about that. Fernandez, he's been a bit quiet of late, but I think you just need to keep him in because of how good he can be and how consistent he usually is.
I've made that mistake 3 times. I've took him out. He's got 17 twice, and he got a 10 against Man City. So he's just too dangerous to leave out now.
He is. He's just a proper fantasy Premier League player, isn't he? Sometimes he doesn't even play that well, but he'll still get the goal or assist. He's on pens as well. Lingard said I brought him in on my wild card about 5 weeks ago, probably a bit before everyone else sort of jumped on him. He's just been unbelievable. I think he might get a few more goals to the end of the season. 14 points, which is class at home. Some of the goals he's been scoring as well have been unbelievable. He's not really having easy chances. He's sort of scoring them for himself. Just brought Jota in, and to be fair, I watched the game and he played all right. He probably deserved a goal or an assist, and he probably did have an assist with that. The one that got given, didn't get given as an assist at all. Son, 7 points. He's been a bit quiet as well, like Fernandez last few weeks, but Spurs have just been a bit poor in general. But he got a goal. Gundogan, I think it's time for me to get rid of Gundogan now. I've had him for a few weeks, and he's been good value and stuff, but I just can't trust him to actually start games. I'd rather have someone I know is guaranteed to start, where with Gundogan, he's not guaranteed to start, and then when he does play, he's not exactly guaranteed to get a goal and assist either. I don't know. I think it's time for me to move on with him. And then Harry Kane. I think he's in everyone's team by now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Just so consistent. So happy to keep him, but poor week overall. If you look at my bench there, I've got 25 points in total, which is more than half of what I've actually got overall. So
I think I think the difference between a good week and a bad week is Stuart Dallas. If you just had him coming on, then you could 60 points or whoever you're
in for Creswell. I know.
It'd be massive, wouldn't it? But That's the joys of fantasy football, isn't it?
Never dropped Dallas. But man, he's got Liverpool at home, hasn't he? I don't know. Are you going to start him against Liverpool, or
I might,
like
I think after he scored 2, playing Liverpool, play with a high line, I think they will concede, but I might just play him just for the potential that he hits him on the counter or something like that. Because I don't think Bamford will be able to run away from like the strikers. So it's Dallas.
Yeah.
But I'm not that happy with my defence, to be honest. So I kind of have to play him unless obviously I do a transfer, but I've got priorities elsewhere.
Yeah.
Right, okay, well then, Ryan, go through yours then.
Yeah.
Runners up this week.
Nah, fuck off. So, 59 points, -4. Back line was rubbish. I started to play Foster instead of Martinez, hoping for the clean sheet, but I mean, I've been going about Martinez all season. Well, not all season, but since I got him, and I need to just play him, even saves he makes and that, and then
got bonus points, didn't he? Get 2 bonus points.
He got 1 in the end.
Did he?
Yeah,
he's just class, isn't he? Just a shot stopper.
And then, well, same with what Flem just said. Rudiger, Chelsea clean sheet, rubbish. I think it was only Palace's 1 attempt. I think they had all game and they scored. Creswell 0, shite. Shaw, bit disappointing, got 1, but I let him off because he's he's done well for me recently. Then the 2 transfers, Lingard and Iheanacho, like we've mentioned. I mean, unbelievable. I got him from -4. Made a little mistake that I got Iheanacho early instead of Watkins. Whenever I waited the day after, I'd have got him for Antonio instead. So now I've got Antonio who's just left as like dead wood basically. But because of price changes, I couldn't afford to to wait an extra night, and I thought that I wouldn't be able to afford it if I waited another night. So in the end, I've ended up with Antonio. Now, I only won by 1 point, and I'll put it down to this guy. Ollie Burke won me the game.
Yeah.
Absolutely shocking. I don't know why I still got it. I got him at 4, and he's I think he's 4.1 now. And even when I watch him, and think he is rubbish. Right?
There's no goal threat from him, is there? Sheffield United.
Absolutely nothing. But the fact he played 60 minutes.
60 minutes.
I won by 1.
Did he?
Yeah. Before the game, I was just thinking if he starts and if he gets 2 points, I was saying that to Matthew and I was just saying if he gets 2 points, I'll be happy with that because he's shocking. And
and he's been the match winner, really.
Well, yeah, I suppose you could look at it a few ways, but I will say Ollie Burke because I think he was the last game on for me as well. You could say. Luke Shaw got a card late on as well, but I'll say Ollie Burke got 2.
I'm going to say I called Sheffield United to go down right at the start of the season.
Yeah, I think you
don't know what the odds. I don't think the odds would have been that good, to be fair, but I wish I stuck a daft tenner on it.
Yeah, second season syndrome, isn't it? And I got Alonso on the bench. I sort of don't really know what to do with him because I think I feel like my bench is okay for me to just keep him on there. Then if he plays, he plays. He doesn't sort of thing. So I don't know whether to get rid of him or Creswell. I'm sort of waiting for injury news on Creswell to see how that is. So 59 -4.
Yeah, I actually thought Alonso might have played this game, but is he worth the hassle? Because it seems like Chilwell's number 1. Alonso playing now and again if they play a weaker team, but
yeah.
The potential. No, he's not. The potential on him's his ceiling's so high, isn't it? But it's just whether or not he plays or not.
Yeah.
And then, there's mine anyway. 75 -8 for 67. So I just played Martinez. I thought save points. He got 4 there. Double Chelsea, as you were saying, Flem. I've got them in the last 2 weeks, and they've been diabolical. They've not done anything, but hopefully in the long term it will pay off. There's the man, the Dallas Maverick, 17. That got me off to a good start to the week on that Saturday. Already been -8 down. You kind of need something to happen.
Yeah.
Fernandez 2, Rafinha 2. Bit disappointing with Jota as a captain. I went for 4 because I've had a few big hitters on there. 4 people got double figures. Dallas, Lingard 14, Lacazette 13, and Iheanacho 13. And I went for someone who got 2. So, bit disappointed with that, but I'm happy overall. How it's gone with my transfers, and just gonna read you a little thing of the last 2 weeks. So, game week 30, I took -12. I got Lingard, who got 12, and who was the other? Jota, who got 12. So 24. But then I had Aspilicueta and Rudiger that were in them transfer, got 0. Last week, 3 transfers, -8. Iheanacho, Lacazette, who both got 13 each, and the other one was Mahrez, who had done it half 6.29. I done it for Son on Friday night. So with that in mind, is it just better to play aggressively, play for the minors, play week for week, go for a big haul, or you just more conservative, just make sure you don't take the points hit?
What do you think, Flem?
Personally, I don't really like taking hits unless it's a double game week where there's more games to be played. I try and keep my hits minimal. I don't really like going over a -4. We'll take a -4 some weeks, but I don't think I've done a -8 this season. But like you say, that's paid off for you. I think, like I said, it's a good shout, because I don't think many people will have him. But generally, I try and keep it at a -4 because I don't like being behind against who I'm playing before even a ball's been kicked. I think if it wasn't head-to-head, it was just overall points, I'd definitely take more hits.
Yeah.
But with the head-to-head, I don't like taking any hits, really.
Yeah, Ryan?
Yeah, I'm a bit like that. I think I've taken -4 quite a few times. Probably not as much as what I have done in previous season, I don't think. I've tried to be a little bit more content with my team, not to change it around too much. But I think it sort of depends on the situation sometimes. I think, if you've got a team that's out of form and you feel like you do need to get quite a few players, and sometimes it's maybe worth it, even for the game week and then for the future game weeks after that as well. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but I do think it's sort of just situational to how your team is looking at the time.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's all in hindsight, really, because there's been times this year where I don't want to take a -4, or I have, and I've just been carrying dead wood for weeks and weeks, where the last 2 weeks, I just thought, right, I'm going to be aggressive here. I've made 7 transfers in the last 2 weeks, and 4 of them have come off, and 3 of them have blanked.
Yeah.
But the 4 that have come
-12
off,
last week.
Yeah, -12 last week.
Brave. Paid off.
Yeah. So it was against Matty Henry. I think that was a game where I thought, I might struggle a little bit. But luckily, I got over the line in that one. But yeah, I just wanted to know what your thoughts were on handicap, really. Anyway, just a few things I want to talk about a little bit this week then. Spurs double, Wolves, and a little bit about Leeds. So Spurs double, obviously Kane and Son are the obvious 2. I don't know if you two both have them. But is there any other options like Reguilion? I've been impressed with Lucas as well, but on the eye test, playing in a match, he's looked very good. But whether or not he gets enough points, fantasy-wise, is he worth, 6.6? What do you think, Spurs double?
I'm not personally. I've got Kane and Son. I think it's as good as it's all you need, I think, in attacking wise. They have a blank next week as well, so I think people, you can't forget about that. So you don't want to get too many in and then have it to not have enough people for 33. So I'd probably go Kane and Son, and then as in defensive, maybe Reguilion, as you say, or maybe Hugo Lloris if you've got a backup keeper for 33, or if you can take him out.
Yeah, I just can't I've got Son and Kane. I just can't justify having 3 Spurs players, especially with how they're playing at the moment. They don't look like they're going to score tons, and then they're quite leaky at the back as well. They seem to be conceding any. So I think keep Kane and Son for now, but I think even after then, I might even contemplate whether getting rid of one. Probably Son if it was one or the other. But yeah, probably wouldn't want any more than them two, to be fair.
Yeah, because I've had Son more or less the whole season, but he's been a little bit of dead wood, and we covered this in the podcast last week that Son's second half of the season's not been very good. Even done a thread on Twitter. I think because of that, then I read my own like hype, thinking, oh, I'm getting rid of him. I have to get rid of him. And now the thing is, this week's transfer, I think I'm just going to bring him back.
Yeah.
So it was a bit of a waste of a -4, but I've not been happy with having double Spurs because it's kind of been the rise of me at the start, but also the fall for keeping them for so long.
Yeah.
Just two different teams, aren't they? I can't believe how well they started the season, and then I don't know. It seems like the players just don't like playing for Mourinho. I don't think they like him. But I know two Spurs players like at the moment is probably overkill, except for this double game week, just because they're not scoring that many.
I know. I think a
Bale
little bit
as well. I don't know what's happened to Bale. Like he was doing mint, wasn't he, for a few weeks, and now can't even get a sniff.
He was my worst transfer this year. I picked him over Lingard, and
you put him captain against me, I think. Yeah, it was buzzing. Came off against Arsenal.
Oh yeah, it was shocking that. But I mean, I forgot what I was going to say on a little bit with the Son is he scored 4 against Southampton, didn't he, in the reverse fixture? I mean, Ryan, you said you quite like targeting Southampton.
Yeah, I have in the past. Yeah, I just think they're quite an open team and they leave a lot of space. To be fair, I've just checked like the overall stats and stuff like defensively, and they were better than what I thought. You know, they were not. They weren't right at one of the worst ones. I thought they were probably worse than what they are, but yeah, I mean that could be a high scoring game potentially. Spurs and Southampton.
Yeah. Okay, and then a little bit on Wolves. Then they play Sheffield United this week.
Yeah.
I'm sure they've also got West Brom. Is that right? Soon. They've got some good fixtures anyway. So, any defenders, Cody, Sai, Semedo, which one would you go for?
I'd probably just go between Size and Corey. I don't really think there's any point going for Semedo. It costs a little bit more. Hasn't really had the attacking return to justify paying that bit more, the larger price. And Cody's actually, I think in previous seasons he was never getting in the box or anything, like he wasn't going up for corners. But I think since he scored for England, since then I think he's had a good few chances inside the box. He's actually looked a bit of a threat, and he's nailed on as he can get.
Yeah, I mean, I want to go for size in a way. Like, if I do go that way, because he's such a threat, but he's got that rotation risk. He's only 0.1 more than Cody. But I guess he is a bit more of a rotation. Have you thought that Fleming?
Still playing, are they playing 3 at the back still, or is it? They've went to back 4 now, have they?
4, I think, recently.
Well,
yeah.
Back 4 against
probably
Ham, didn't they? And then against Fulham, I think they might have went back to a 5.
Yeah, I've got some like mint fixtures, but towards the end of the season, it just seems like clean sheets don't happen as much because even the teams at the bottom, like you've seen it with West Brom over the last few weeks, how many goals they've started scoring against Chelsea, and who did they play this week?
Southampton,
yeah. So the fixtures look good on paper, but they might turn out to actually be some bad fixtures for the teams that are trying to stay up. But I think if I was going to get someone in, I'd probably get Cody in as well. He's pretty cheap, isn't he? He's guaranteed to start as well.
Right, okay. I was just going to say, what about Pereira quickly? On Mateus Pereira, obviously he's in a bit of good form. I should just leave West Brom players.
I don't know. He's in good form, but I just think, I don't know. I just can't justify bringing in anyone from West Brom. I mean, he's on penalty as well, which is good, and they have turned it around the past 2 games. I think as a 5th midfielder, he might be all right if you've got the money.
Right.
Yeah, I brought him in on draft, not in my other league. Brought him in draft this week. Yeah. So I've got another league that I've put money in on draft. So I do look at it a bit and he's been doing class. But I think West Brom have got no chance of staying up. Even if, do you know what I mean? I don't think they've.
Do you not think Big Sam's rallied the troops 2 wins in a row?
I don't know. I just can't see it. I think Newcastle probably, obviously, they've got to win as well. I just can't. I don't know who'd go down instead of them.
Yeah.
I think the three that are in there now will go down. Say maximum, save the day.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair enough. Another thing, quickly on Leeds then, is it like targeting Leeds? You think they've sorted the defence out now? Because I was thinking whether to go for Salah this week, Salah and Jota. But obviously they played Man City, only conceded the one. Played Chelsea 0-0. Do you think Leeds' defence is a lot better than what people give them credit for?
I think they've definitely improved. Obviously, they're not one of the best defences, but from the start of the season to now, they've improved massively. I mean, I was looking at so from game week 1 to 15, they conceded 30, and then from 16 to 29, 18.
Good stats, then.
In the previous 10 game weeks, the expected goals conceded, they're only mid-table. So,
right,
doing okay, in the past 10 game weeks, they're a lot better now defensively, yeah.
Got some tough fixtures, haven't they? I think they've got Liverpool and United. They've just had City.
Yeah.
I think they tend to be better defensively at home. But you've got to have Dallas in your team, I think, even just for the goal threat. So they have been better defensively as well. So if I was going to have anyone, you've got to have Dallas, I think.
Is he better than Lundstrom of last year? I think is
how many
Sheffield
goals did
United,
he get?
I don't think he got as many. I think he might have got like 5 or 6. But I think Sheffield United did keep quite a few clean sheets last year.
Yeah.
So for a steady 6.6 points, maybe Lundstrom was better. But as like a explosiveness with 17 last week and 15 against Southampton, maybe Dallas will get a lot of 1s and 2s as well, because I captained him, I think, against Fulham and done nothing.
I think Lundstrom was one of them that no one had ever really heard of him, unless you're a Sheffield United fan. No one really heard of him. So people I think I got him for was he 4 million to start with? I think I seen a tip online that he was gonna play, and he's playing quite attacking. So I thought I'd get him, but I mean, both of them two have go down as FPL defensive legends.
Done out this season, has he?
Nah. All right, just a quick last 7 minutes or so. So with our special guests, we just like to ask a few questions, but I'll talk through it a little bit beforehand. So a former winner anyway in head-to-head. You won the first one, is that right?
2017, yeah. Beat Liam Taylor. I was in Krakow at the time.
Celebrating.
Yeah. My first season doing FPL was 06, which is mad because I can't even remember. If you go back on my username, you can go back to 06 and I can't even literally remember doing it. Just mad. Van Nistelrooy was playing for United at that time.
How old were you then? 10,
11. Yeah, 11.
Yeah.
She's mad.
Oh, tell you what, not bad. 1,870, 54k you finished. Obviously, there's probably more people that play now.
Yeah.
Not bad.
FPL veteran.
Yeah, that's it. Can you remember that day then anyway? Who won you it on that day?
I had Harry Kane, captain, I think. And Taylor didn't have Harry Kane at all. I'm sure, I can't remember who was playing. It was when Spurs were class at White Hart Lane, the old ground. They had Ericsson, Ali. I think Kane won me it with captain. I might have got a hat-trick.
Yeah. No, that's good. I mean, Liam, he tends to be the one who finishes up there all season, doesn't he? He's been the final every year. But you and Kirby beat him. I unfortunately let him off the title. I felt sorry for him.
He's always up there, Taylor. You've got a good game against him when you play him.
He could miss out though this year, mightn't he?
Yeah, I think he'll get in. I think he's in
so
much of good form to not get in, but he's still in.
He'll find a way, won't he? He'll find a way.
Yeah, no, it's fine. And so, Flem, you're on 1,861 points. Currently 567k. Happy with the season so far?
I think my overall points could be a lot better. I think there's been a few times where I've been frustrated. Like, for example, Stones, who headed the double game week, I was proper contemplating putting him captain, and it's where he scored a brace against. He scored 2 goals, and then he got. So that would have been an extra like 40 odd points. So been all right. He's been pretty consistent in the head-to-head. But I wouldn't say it's one of me best years, but it just matters where you're on the table, doesn't it? But overall, probably could have done a bit better.
Yeah, I mean, head-to-head there first. I mean, I'm sorry to bring this up, but I know, last few years or whatever, you didn't do as well. What happened there, or just a bad year, or?
I think I just lost interest in it. Like last year, like there, you're on about Lundstrom. Like I wasn't even really watching the Prem that much. Just sort of, obviously been going since 06, so sort of maybe lost the love, got a bit bored. And then I think since like lockdown has been introduced, even the back end of last season with lockdown and that, it's just heightened everything. I think everyone cares about it more, and like it could literally make or break your week, as sad as that sounds. But it's like, especially in lockdown, I've definitely been like looking at it more.
Yeah, tell it well, podcast host who he's very angry at the game at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's for another podcast or another topic. You know, mental health and stress with fantasy league. But anyway, just a few quick questions inside the manager's mind. Try not to think about it too much. Quick, last 3 minutes or so. So I think you answered this anyway, but do you trust the players or risk it and take a -4 points hit?
Try avoid the hit. So trust the players I already have.
All right, okay. Captaincy, easy fixtures or better form?
I always go for fixtures, but like I think sometimes you're probably better off going with form. But definitely I go with fixtures. I think so you can see who they're playing, and you probably look into that way too much. So I'll probably go for fixtures.
Yeah. Defence, clean sheet potential or attacking returns?
Like you said, both. But I think clean sheets I look for probably more often. Who concedes less rather than attacking returns. I think they're less frequent.
Yeah. Okay. Bench then, strong bench or just cheap as chips?
I went for a strong bench this year, but sometimes I wish I just didn't, because there's nothing more frustrating than seeing your bench do better than the actual team, like we've just seen. So I've went for a strong bench. Yeah, strong bench, but it can be annoying sometimes.
Right. Go-to premium, Bruno, De Bruyne or Salah?
I'm going to say Salah. Like, I haven't got him at the moment, but like even when Liverpool signed him that summer, I put him in straight away, and I've had him since then. So I'd probably say Salah, just because he's normally so consistent.
Right. Do you get the informed players, like the template ones, like everyone else, or try and find a hidden gem?
I try and find the hidden gems before everyone else. I think that's like the key to it, really. Trying to find who's going to do well in the next few weeks before everyone else. And I think that's how you sort of pull apart from the others.
Right, okay. And last question then. Will Luke Fleming win the Helmets League this season?
Got to back yourself, haven't you? So I'm gonna say yes. I've only got one chip left, but I think that might get me over the line. Hopefully, gotta be confident.
Yeah, well, you've got a lot to be confident about first at the moment. Nearly guaranteed that top 8, so we'll see. Hopefully, we'll see you soon anyway in them last 3 weeks. Hopefully, Ryan might be there as well, but
hopefully,
wouldn't bank on it. Well, anyway, Flem, thanks a lot for coming on and coming on the podcast. Give us a like, follow Everyday Plays FPL, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Spotify. Gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Nice one,
Good luck for the weekends.
See you in a bit. Bye-bye.
Bye.